All right, YouTube fam. I'm Alex.
I'm Josh, and we're Sin City Reacts.
We're going to do something different today. I
guess today we're Sin City Picks.
Yeah. Want to start something new. I know it's like week 5, but we thought just for fun, let's
get into some football, baby.
let's do some picks and see how we do. I don't suggest hitting the sports book on this discussion.
Unless you pick my picks, and then you're going to be all right.
All right, so let's start off with a Thursday night game.
Which I don't think that the schedulers could have picked a pretty worse matchup for a Thursday night game. Got the 0-4 Chicago Bears versus a surprising, but still yet 2-2 Washington Commanders.
I was not aware the Bears were doing that bad this year.
They are terrible.
My pick was going to be the Bears.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I knew they were 0-4, but I still picked the Bears. I think that Justin Fields gets them on the board with their first win this year. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder, and I think that they're going to be able to pull one out on Thursday night.
I think this is the week where all the teams are due.
I think so. I think the time to pay the piper. They've gone 4 weeks of hard work, and it's time to finally put something together.
All right. Our next game coming from Germany.
The early morning game.
6:30 in the morning.
You going to be up for that?
No.
Yeah, me neither. But I will definitely be checking the highlights.
So, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
Go first. I'll go first.
Yeah.
I've got Josh Allen and the Bills rolling back-to-back weeks again. I mean, they put on an absolute clinic against Miami last week. Right now, think they're the team to beat in the AFC, and I'm going with the Bills.
So I thought the team to beat in the AFC East was the Dolphins after last week, that 70 to something
70
game.
to 27.
But then the Bills, like you said, they took care of the Dolphins like nothing. So I'm definitely going for the Bills in this one. Yeah. Saints versus Patriots.
I got the Saints rolling here. They got Derek Carr. They're playing some pretty good ball. The Patriots are a mess right now. Mac Jones has got arm talent, but that's about it. If you listen to any of the pundits out there, that's everybody's, he's got arm talent. Arm talent's great. Can you put the ball where it needs to be?
I just think the Patriots really suck this year, and so I'm going to go with the Saints. So you see we have the sports analyst and the fair weather guy.
There it is right there.
Titans versus Colts.
I got the Titans here. It's always a good matchup with the two teams, AFC South matchup. But the rookie quarterback situation up with the Colts, he hasn't quite figured out that the game doesn't transition as well to the NFL like it did, and can't just run everybody over. Hasn't really played a full game yet, and the Titans, that workload with Derrick Henry is it's really hard on teams.
So I wasn't sure on this one. I was going with the Titans because I vaguely remember seeing something or thought I heard or seen something that the Colts weren't doing too well. So on this one, I'm going for the Titans. Ravens versus Steelers. I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You got yours?
So it doesn't sound like I'm just getting all my info from the sports guy. I think the Steelers are not doing too well this year. Like, they beat the Raiders. Who hasn't beat the Raiders? So I'm thinking, I think the Ravens are going to take this one.
Eventually, we're going to have to pick separate teams, to get a little bit of controversy, because I'm also rolling with the Ravens on this one.
Oh, okay.
Like you said, the Steelers, they haven't quite figured it out. Their offense isn't really clicking. Kenny Pickett, I'm not sure what he does, but the Ravens got it kind of not necessarily figured out, but they have a much better structure in place to be able to get themselves in a better position to win the game. So,
all right. Where'd I go?
Panthers, Lions.
Oh, there we go. Panthers versus the Lions. I don't know how Carolina's doing, but I think I'm going with the Lions on this one.
Are you going with the Lions?
Yeah.
Dang. I'm going with the Lions, too.
Oh.
Carolina's 0-4. Rookie quarterback Bryce Young is kind of in that same situation. He's got his 4 weeks and now going to roll into 5 weeks of welcome to the NFL. It's a lot different when you don't have the highest rated team when you don't have all those high recruits playing against everybody else like you did at Alabama. And the Lions, they're the darlings right now in the NFC North, man. They got Jared Goff. The boys are just rolling, and I'm going Lions again.
All righty. Texans versus the Falcons. I've heard some good stuff about the Texans this year, so I'm going for the Texans.
I promise we didn't do this together. I got the Texans too. Which is surprising because he's kind of on the flip side of the rookie quarterback situation. C.J. Stroud has been balling. He's kind of figured it out, whereas the Falcons, their offense is sputtering every single week. They're trying to figure things out with their second-year quarterback in Desmond Ridder, but C.J. Stroud's a baller, man. I think I don't remember if it was it was Vegas' own Brevin Jordan, a Gorman alum, that said we got the right guy when they picked him at number 2. They got the quarterback that they wanted, even though he was the second pick, and he's got them playing some pretty good football right now.
All right. Go ahead.
They got the Dolphins and the Giants, man. It's easy. It's the Dolphins, right? Undefeated up until last week. Hung 70.
Did you see the Giants' performance this last week?
Yeah,
You sure you're not going Giants?
on Monday Night Football? I saw it. Shout out Peyton Manning and Eli Manning on the Manning cast, and they were not too pleased with the Giants. Did you see their coach throw the tablet after I don't know if it was after the pick six or if it was just after one of the interceptions that their quarterback
I did
threw?
not. I don't remember what I was doing, but I didn't see the whole game of the Giants playing. But yeah, I missed that. My thought is this though: after seeing what the Dolphins did to the Broncos, and seeing how the Giants lost to the Seahawks, I kind of feel bad for the Giants this game coming up because I worry it's going to look worse than the Dolphins versus the Broncos.
The Dolphins' offense is an absolute track team right now, man. If they get going, and I think that their coach Mike McDaniels lives by the great Herman Boone from Remember the Titans. I don't know if you ever seen that movie.
Yes.
And he looks at him. He says, "Run it up, Herm. Leave no doubt." Mike McDaniels leaves no doubt. That's for sure.
Bengals versus the Cardinals.
This one's a surprise for me, man. Both teams are sitting at 1-3. The Dolphins have been playing better, especially since that one win is over the Cowboys. But the Bengals, I think, at any point in time are just like a sleeping beast. If they start to figure it out with their offensive line, if Joe Burrow can get healthy, they're going to be all right. And so that's why I'm rolling with the Bengals this week.
Oh, good. I'm going with the Cardinals.
There we go.
There was a game I saw earlier. It must have been the one win who'd they win against?
They beat the Cowboys when the Cowboys were undefeated.
That ain't the game I saw.
You probably saw them against the Giants then when they were up, but then they lost. They were up 27-0 and blew a 27-point lead.
Did they play KC?
That was in the preseason.
Okay. I don't know what it was, but something I saw the Cardinals this year made me think, oh, I didn't realize they were 1-3. I thought they were doing pretty good. But I'm going to go with the Cardinals on this one.
There we go. At least we'll have something to talk about.
Eagles versus the Rams.
I got the Eagles in this one. Staying undefeated. The Rams are, again, another team that just bitten by the ultimate, absolute worst thing in sports, in my opinion, which is the salary cap. They got too many players that they had to get rid of because there wasn't enough money to go around. And now they went from being a Super Bowl team 2 years ago to now they're bottom dwellers. And the Eagles, on the other hand, got a quarterback on a rookie contract, which makes everything around them better. And two guys that can just ball out on the offense, in A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And so I got the Eagles again, man.
I was going to pick the Rams just because maybe I was getting them confused with the Chargers. But I'm going with the Rams.
Here we go. We got two controversies now. Good. Something to talk about. Content, baby.
Jets and Broncos.
The battle for the dumpster fires. Two organizations that just don't know how to figure it out. This one will be interesting, though. There's an underlying story. I mean, I don't know how much you paid attention to the offseason, but the Broncos' new head coach came in and basically said that the Broncos organization was the worst coaching job that he's ever seen in the history of the NFL, which that guy just so happens to be the offensive coordinator for the New York Jets. And so I'm very interested to see how that narrative plays out pre-game, during the game, and post-game between those two and that interaction and stuff like that, because neither team is very good. The Broncos obviously sitting at 1-3. The Jets are 1-3 off of a miracle win in the first game of the year over the Bills, which can't understand that. But I got the Jets.
That's who I was going with. I knew they were having some problems with, the whole Aaron Rodgers thing in the beginning. But, I mean, the Broncos,
That's a dumpster fire of an organization.
yeah, I'm going with the Jets. Chiefs versus Vikings.
Who you got in this one? I'm interested.
KC.
Why?
They're still, so I think they got off to a rough start, but they're the defending champs, right? And they still have everything they had last year. I just think they're the better team.
I think so. I got the Chiefs too, and it's kind of on the same lines of what you had, except for the Chiefs will continue to be a contender as long as they have one man on their team, and that man is one very, very bad dude in Patrick Mahomes. I don't care what happens. If Patrick Mahomes is on the field, there is nothing that the Chiefs can't do with their offense. I don't care who is out there. I don't care if I'm out there playing running back. If Patrick Mahomes is out there, they got a chance to win a game.
Okay. Cowboys, 49ers.
I went 49ers here. I think that across the entire landscape, I think the 49ers roster is the best in the league. They always say, on paper, but they are not just good on paper. They are good on the field. They are super talented on both sides of the ball. The thing is always going to be the question of health, and right now they're healthy, and as long as they can stay healthy, I think that they're going to keep rolling. And on top of that, just can never pick the Cowboys. So
I was stuck on this one because I got a lot of friends on Facebook that they're like nonstop posts about the Cowboys this year. I was
Cowboys
like,
going to the Super Bowl?
They're actually winning. Yeah. But I have seen a couple Niners games because my nephew is a Niners fan, and they do look pretty good. I'm not a Niners fan, but I got to say they look pretty good. So I'm going for the Niners on this one. And that brings us to Monday night.
with the hometown
Packers
Raiders
versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
I think this is an easy call here. I got the Packers here. The Raiders are back in that same tier of dumpster fire organizations. Not only do I think that the Packers come in and win the game on Monday night, but I also think that this will be Josh McDaniels' last game as the coach of the Raiders.
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
So I'm going to vent here just for a minute.
Here we go. Raiders fans.
So why I'm the fair weather guy, football was never a thing in my house growing up, so I never watched it. We were all baseball. I started watching football only because in high school my friend started a betting pool, and I wanted in on the action. And so I was like, oh, well, who will I root for? And my thing was, well, my sister lived in Florida. She was a Dolphins fan. I like the Dolphins. I like Dolphins. And I like the Dolphins uniform colors and stuff, and I thought they were cool. Dan Marino was pretty badass. So
You just
I was
dated
like,
yourself.
I like the Dolphins. And then I also like the Seahawks because my uncle from Auburn, Washington, would always send me Seahawks and Huskies gear.
Okay.
And so, I had that influence coming in. It's like, okay, so I like the Dolphins and the Seahawks. I hope that's okay, right? They're different leagues. And then I was a Dodger fan, and one of my best friends that lived next door to me was a Raiders fan, an L.A. Raiders fan. And so it's L.A. Dodger fan. Yeah, I could like the L.A. Raiders. And then I watched Bo Jackson play.
Oh, and
And then I was hooked.
Okay.
And so I was an LA Raiders fan, but also Dolphins and Seahawks.
It's quite the map there.
It is, yeah. And so Oh, I was like, where was I even going with this? Raiders moved back to Oakland. I stopped following them because as a Dodger fan, I couldn't bring myself to root for a Bay Area team.
Okay.
I feel like that
That's
makes
reasonable.
sense. Okay.
That tracks.
And then when they said Vegas was going to get their first professional team, I mean, I had to become a hockey fan because I've been waiting all my life for any kind of professional team for Nevada. And then they said when it came to football, we're getting a team. It's like, oh, cool. I hope it's not a team I don't like. And then they said it was the Raiders. And I was like, oh, I can be a Raider fan again. And then they get here. And boy, do they suck. I just got to say, Josh McDaniels sucks ass. He makes the dumbest calls I've ever seen in my life. His little tantrum shit of getting rid of Waller because he wasn't invited to a wedding. Yeah, let's just give one of our best receivers away. That's cool.
That's a hot take, man.
I'm almost done.
Oh,
No, I am so frustrated with the Raiders. But they're Las Vegas. And as much as I think Green Bay's probably going to win, I got to pick the Raiders. Maybe this is the week they're due. Maybe this is the upset week.
but then if they win, they won't fire Josh McDaniels.
Oh, shit.
It's okay. You can pick with your mind and you can hope with your heart. That's what I say. That's my betting strategy.
Oh, no, he's got to go. They should have kept old dude that was the interim coach because the interim coach, and I will say, people aren't going to agree with this. I was not a Gruden fan either.
Yeah.
Because he did the same ridiculous play calling. I call the Raiders offense the Game of Thrones offense because they have these epic drives down the field that start out so awesome. And then once they get to the field, it's the most disappointing end of a drive I've ever seen in my life. I mean, at this point, they might as well just kick it to the 50-yard line and then call in a field goal because that guy don't miss. Just my opinion.
Just to get points on the board.
Yeah, first down and on the
first time you cross the 50.
yeah, as soon as you cross the 50, first down, second down, just call in the freaking kicker because you know you're going to end up at a field goal anyway. More time on the clock, more opportunities to get more field goals because that's the only way you can score.
That is hilarious.
So,
I think you just summed up all of the Raiders fans in the world right there with that take. I hope Josh McDaniels isn't going to watch this. If he does, at least hit the subscribe button, man.
Yeah, support the channel. We'll follow up with this next week.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe. We'll catch you later.
See ya.
Bye.